Episode 3506, Choose Love Over Numbness.
Moms, it's time to rediscover, rejuvenate, and renew who you are in mind, body, and spirit. Welcome to Create Your Now, Your Best Selfie, the show to help you do just that. Here's your host, certified life coach, personal trainer, and nutritionist, Christiane Wargo.
Happy day. Are you enjoying your weekend? Well, I hope you're enjoying it with your family and friends, but also with the one you're sleeping next to. Oh yes, it's Relationship Builders Day. Choose love over numbness. For those of you who are brand new to Create Your Now, welcome to this incredible family. I'm so delighted of your presence. If you already even had the opportunity, you'll want to head on over to createyournow.com where you can learn more and sign up for the Kisses newsletter. The Keep It Simple strategy, everyday solutions to live, love, and impact. Well, this episode is brought to you by AIM, Inspiring Connection and Community. So let me ask you a hard question, and maybe it's going to be a tough one because it is the holidays and you're like, I really don't want to be doing this because I've got so many other things to do. How has your marriage become somewhat boring? Is that you? And maybe you're like, no, it's really not me. Because, I know there's love there, but it just doesn't feel the same, but I wouldn't call it boring. The spark is so-so, the kisses are little pecks, the time in bed is just all right. Well, my friend, it's time to choose love over numbness. Couples can get bogged down and bamboozled by life. We do. And how unfair is it to the both of you to remain disconnected in a connected relationship that you're committed to because that's what you're in? You said, I do. You want to do life together, and now you're just kind of, it's just there. It exists. The spark is so-so. You get mad a little bit easier, but then you get flustered too, and it's not even necessarily at each other. And when you are in the moment, you're exhausted and flustered because the day hasn't gone as well as it should have. Why do you let the results of your day influence the intimacy of your marriage? Think about that. Let me ask it this way too. Why do you let the results of your day influence the intimacy at night? I know we don't sit around thinking about that, but I guarantee you, your man has those thoughts. And if you're one who says, I really would like to spend more time, right? As a woman, we look at things differently. But we don't sit around really thinking about it because we got so many other things happening. And it's understandable that life gets in the way. But let me tell you this, life will always be life. There will be issues with the kids, bills to pay, and responsibilities at home and in your community. There will be times in your career that interfere with what you want to do. Vacation, it may not always be an option. Health will challenge you at some point, whether weight or illness. However, that doesn't mean you leave behind your spouse. Your vows were for better or worse. It makes absolutely no sense to numb out because life happens to you. Take life and run with conviction to choose love regardless of life's results. So what can you do to choose love over numbness? Well, you got to reignite the flames of love. That is your Kiss to Keep It Simple strategy. The once fiery passion probably has dwindled a little bit, and it's become more of a routine of pecks and lukewarm embraces. Yet, you can break free from the numbness and reignite the flames of love. Think about your marriage right now. Where are you in it? And I'm not talking about what your bank account says. I'm not talking about how you're doing with the kids and raising them and the craziness there. I'm not talking about your puppy dogs and kitty cats. I'm not talking about the yard work that needs to be done. And we're definitely not talking about the dinner and dishes and dogs. What I'm talking about is complacency. What I'm talking about is you're just doing it because you're just doing it. Whatever it is. Could be that it as in sex, it, woo woo. And it used to be woo woo, but now it's like, all right, already. You get to champion your marriage. Don't settle. When you fell in love, you didn't settle. So why start now? I mean, because seriously, in the hustle and bustle of daily life, and I used to call the hustle and bustle only in terms of Christmas. I mean, that was really the hustle and bustle. I remember going out with my dad on Christmas Eve because we had to do all the services and everything with the church and all of that. And I would go with him and we didn't have a lot of money, but we would go and buy just a couple extra things that had been marked down just before. That's how we stretched our dollar way back when, okay? And I love that. And I love to see all the people coming out like, oh, it's just not me. We're kind of a little behind too because life happens. That was the hustle and bustle. But now it seems like the hustle and bustle is literally every single day. And why should it be? We've got technology to help us. We're sitting more in our BUTT and our little lazy boy recliner, which does not sponsor this episode, by the way. And we've got that great butt impression. But the BUT of life, well, I don't know. We've got it all chalked up to complacency. It's all too easy for exhaustion and frustration to seep into the cracks of a marriage. I mean, you are sitting on that recliner, right? What do you think's down deep in those crevices? I'm just saying, have you vacuumed there lately? I know I have. That's why I can say, I know what's down there in those deep crevices. But think about it in your heart. Dampening that flame that once burned brightly between two hearts, not just one. But why should the challenges of the day dictate the level of intimacy between the two of you? What does it look like? What can your marriage look like if you choose love over numbness and say, yes, I want to reignite the flames of love? Well, let's see what it looks like in real life. Number one, you got to shake up the numbness. Let's go to the dentist chair. I know nobody likes to go to the dental chair, do they? Nope, they don't. Especially when you either have a cavity, and that's worse. But even just the cleaning right here. But let's say right now you needed to get that cavity filled. And what do? They give you a shot up in your gums. I've seen so many shots in the gums. Why? Because I have 5 children. I go to the dentist quite frequently with them, not just for me, but with them. And so, when they're done, they're walking out and going, I don't understand why I can't talk this way. It's kind of funny, right? You laugh at them. Sometimes you get your phone out now and then you post it all over and it goes viral, especially if they had their wisdom teeth pulled and whatever. But they had a little medication with that, just not a shot in the gums. I'm just saying. But what happens when it's about 2 hours afterwards? You're sitting there rubbing your cheeks like this. You can't see me, but you can hear me, right? And you're just rubbing it all over the place. You got to shake up the numbness. Prioritize quality time. Make a conscious effort to carve out that dedicated time for one another amidst the chaos of every day. Because everyday life is going to happen whether you want it to or not. Those dishes in the sink are going to be there until someone does them. And I bet you it's going to be you. Because I know I got dishes sitting in my sink right now that I need to do. I'll get there, but it's not going to happen right now because I'm talking with you, right? So shake up the numbness, whether it's a weekly date night, maybe a spontaneous weekend getaway. Find something that doesn't even cost money. Go for a walk and have a picnic together. Pack some sandwiches. Or if you don't want to have the carbs and you don't like to do the bread, I get it, you're going gluten-free, then pack salads. It's not that hard. You can take chicken or tuna fish and create a nice, wonderful salad. And you don't even have to have a meal. Do a charcuterie board. I can't even say it, but I can see it. Snuggle on the couch a little bit without distractions after the kiddos go to bed. Don't sit there and go to bed and do your own thing and be on the phone and then you're doing your reels for 12 minutes before you finally fall asleep. But you still wake up 2 hours later and you're like, why do I feel so alone? My friend, you've got to prioritize quality time together. It's not going to happen just because you said I do. Saying I do and getting married isn't this magic wand that says, you are now blissfully married for the rest of your life. Nothing's going to go wrong. You don't have to work at anything. Oh no, I'm telling you, you have to work at everything. If you want to be together. And I'll tell you this, you're definitely better together. And when you are, it strengthens the bond between the two of you. Oh, my friend, love is a choice. Love is a verb. It's that action that you have to take. It's choosing to prioritize and take action in your relationship above all else, even when life gets chaotic. Drop the excuses. Shake up the numbness, right? Get out of the numbness chair and shake it up. Number 2, infuse with kindness. This is all about communication, being open and honest with each other. Because as you know, effective communication lies at the heart of any successful relationship, but specifically in marriage. Take the time to truly actively listen to each other. Give yourself the space to express your feelings openly. No judgment, no judgment, no judgment. And address any issues that may be causing this distance between the two of you. Honest communication fosters understanding and allows both of you to feel heard and valued. Who doesn't want to be seen and heard? If someone actually says, I don't want to be seen or heard, I'm not talking about being on a stage. I'm talking about in the privacy of your own four walls. Don't let silence breed space. Speak your heart, listen intently, and let love bridge the gap. But you've got to be one who says, I'm going to take action. I want to reignite the flames of love. You just can't sit and expect this stuff to happen because it's not going to, right? Love is an action verb. So that requires you to take aim. And finally, number 3, intentionally light the flame. Reignite the passion, right? This is when it's like, oh, really? I get to do this? Yes, you get to do it. Don't let the flame of passion flicker out in your marriage. It's easy to do. All of it. The excuses that you have, stop it. Just stop it because we all have them. You've got to find creative ways to reignite the spark. I know right now we are in kind of a jumble of a mess right now, and we've got so much going on. I could just give you this long list. It's not even a to-do list. It's, I have to live this list. There's no options here. Like, we're in it, and we feel like we're not winning it. But we know on the other side, it's getting us to where we are. And so there is a little bit of tension here, but let me tell you right now, we are committed to one another. We're not going to let all this other stuff that's happening around us, which, by the way, most of it we cannot control. But we get to control how we respond by first taking care of the two of us, my husband and me, together. It makes us we. And we're going to do it together. So maybe you need to have the spontaneous gesture. Send a sweet little text every once in a while that you don't normally send. Okay? Spice it up in words. It's amazing what happens. It doesn't have to always be about sex. Does that help? Oh, yes, it does, right, men? I know you would agree with me, correct? Correct. And I know women, you get it too, but it's different for a man. But we'll leave that for another episode. Maybe you got to find another way to show your love. What are those heartfelt gestures? What can you do? Because guess what? They've changed since you got married 15 years ago. Maybe you've got to explore new experiences. Like I said, go to the park, pack a picnic. Imagine that. Go for a bike ride. And guess what? If you have to and you don't have bikes, don't go get the electric ones. I mean, you could do that and rent them, but that costs money. If your kids have a bike, borrow one of theirs. Just make sure the tires are inflated properly. I'm just saying. You can fit on them. Keep the element of surprise alive and nurture the physical and emotional intimacy between you. Passion fuels love. Let spontaneity and romance breathe life into your marriage, keeping the flames burning bright. So let me ask you this. Where are you? Maybe you're like, I didn't know we were kind of numbing out, but I kind of feel like we are. Maybe it is a realization for you. Maybe you've known it, but you haven't been able to pinpoint it because you're just doing the same thing. I get it. I understand because life happens and it's always going to happen. But drop the excuses and say, you know what? I want to make a difference in our lives together. It's not about me. It's about we. And when you choose love over numbness, it's going to require intention. It's going to require effort, and you may get tired even more. But let me tell you, your heart will beat faster. So when you wake up, you'll actually feel more refreshed. You got to prioritize your marriage above all else. Let me tell you, when you prioritize your marriage above all else, everybody wins. Everybody wins. Your career will win. Your colleagues will love it because you have a smile on your face. Your kids will be like, what happened to mom? She's not yelling at me this time. The puppy dogs will be like, oh, she fell back in love with me, right? It's a dog life. So take time to be together, because let me tell you this, that's where the numbness fades. And then you get to play. Go in peace, be present, be incredible, be you. I love you so very much. I cannot wait to see you on the other side. Blessings, hugs, and lots of love. We'll talk to you real soon. Have a glorious, blessed weekend. Bye-bye.
Feeling inspired, ready to train for life and love your journey? Visit createyournow.com for more incredible resources to help you along the way. We'll see you next time on Create Your Now, Your Best Selfie. And remember, always be sure you consult your physician before beginning any health and fitness plan.